A brief introduction to Weichai WP12 series diesel engine. Land King, a high-tech brand of Weichai power, and the representatives of the cutting-edge technologies and clean and green powers in the world. Land King WP12 is the brand new product combined with the cutting-edge technologies of internal combustion engine in the present world, which is co-developed by the European R&D Center of Weichai Power, AVL and Bosch, etc., as well as the first-class automotive parts supplier in the world. By fully considering the customer usage and domestic oil quality in development, the diesel engine reliability is not affected by the auxiliary materials such as fuel and oil, and achieve the minimum fuel consumption of 181 gallons per kilowatt hour. All the emission indexes are much lower than the limits of China 3 emission standard. As a vehicle engine which is designed with the brand new concept, it meets the requirements of China 3 emission standard and have the further ability to meet the requirements of China 4 emission standard, as well as it has the maximum displacement in the domestic market. Structure features of WP12 series diesel engine: frame-structured main bearing ensured the high strength and low noise of the engine. In order to meet the vehicle matching, the intake and exhaust ports of the engine are at the opposite symmetric sides respectively, with that of WD615, WD618 diesel engine. High-strength crankshaft with bigger crankshaft journal and connect rod journal to bear the peak firing pressure. More reliable crankshaft and connecting rod bearings with bigger bearing areas. And the emission is lower. The valve is drove by the valve bridge without guide. The EVB component is designed between the valve bridge and the exhaust rocker arm to efficiently raise the brake efficiency. The valve is driven by the valve bridge without guide. The EVB components between the valve and exhaust rocker arm efficiently raise the brake efficiency. Adopting of Bosch high-pressure common rail pump, which can provide an injection pressure up to 1,600 bar to accurate control of the fuel injection quantity and injection timing, and achieve lower emission and lower fuel consumption. Adopting of Bosch electronic control unit (ECU) with steady system processing capability, multi-level system protection and correction improves the reliability and security. Adopting CAN and K buses to achieve the communication between the engine ECU and the vehicle ECU. Rear-designed gear chamber and low-noise gear train driving the alternator, hydraulic pump, injection pump, and air compressor. 1 or 2 cylinders, reserved PTO interface capable of providing an output torque of up to 1,000 Newton meters. Adopting the multi-layer composite plate to reduce the noise, larger capacity oil sump extended the oil change interval effectively. Special notice: maintenance staff should be familiar with the structure, technical performance and main parameters and the maintenance requirements. Take special notice of following items during maintenance. During the operation, the operator of the engine should strictly follow the instructions of the operation and maintenance. The engine has been tested in accordance with the factory specifications strictly before delivery, and the maintenance staff must not adjust ECU data to increase the power without permission. ECU common rail fuel pump and fuel injector are precision parts and no disassembling from the user is allowed. The rotor shaft of turbocharger is precise high-speed rotating part. No disassembling or impact is allowed. There are strict requirements on torque and angle of engine main bearing bolts and connecting rod bolts. Users must not loosen or remove them. The connecting rod bolts are disposable and shall not be reused. The grades of the fuel and oil used should meet the specification requirements in the operation and maintenance manual and be filtered by special filters. The fuel should precipitate for over 72 hours. Always check the coolant and oil to see if the amounts meet the requirements before starting the engine. It is forbidden to operate the engine without air filter in order to prevent unfiltered air from entering the cylinder. Take a 50-hour test run when operating a new engine. After cold start of the engine, increase the engine speed gradually and avoid sudden speed increasing and long time idling. Do not shut down the engine suddenly when it is operating with high load, except for special cases. It is proper to operate the engine under low speed for 5 to 10 minutes before shutting down. Drain off the coolant in the water tank and the engine if the ambient temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius, and there is no antifreeze additive in the coolant. In order to prevent corrosion, engines were oil sealed before delivery. Oil seal is usually valid for 1 year, and if more than 1 year, it should be checked and take necessary measures. During fault analysis, maintenance staff should not disassemble the engine if not necessary, and fault flash code table. Lights flash code or diagnostic instrument should be used to identify the reasons for troubleshooting. When using the diagnostic instrument, directly connect it if the cab has a unified interface. If not, find the K line, the positive and negative of the power lines. Do not connect the positive and negative by mistake, otherwise the ECU would be compromised. If you can't tell which one is K line and which one is the power line, please contact the field office or our company.